space and into the place. Welcome once again into the I Am the Possible podcast experience. Yes, this is the place. This is the space where possibilities become perspective, and the place where your progress is my passion. Today, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you some very simple success strategies. Um, but I'm going to do it through a story. I'm going to do it through sharing with you how I lost 75 pounds and ran my first half marathon. This was in 2020, not 2020. This was in 2017. And I just wanted to share the process, what I went through. And what I'm learning is that many of us, we are capable of so much and we want to do so much. We want to be so much. But sometimes we just don't know where to start. We don't have the mentorship. We don't have access to the information. We don't, we just don't know, right? Like inside of us, we know that we want to be more, we want to do more, but we just don't know how. And so I want to begin to share a lot of my struggles and my successes and begin to extract some of these success strategies that I've used for years to see a lot of success in my life. Going from where I was, a lot of self-hate, a lot of discouragement, a lot of not feeling very good about myself, not very hopeful about my life, about my future, to a space and a place now where I coach, I train, I speak to, I pastor, I mentor others in really how do we discover, right? What's within us, how we utilize the potential that God's given us, and basically how do we better understand ourselves, learn to trust ourselves, and how do we learn to move ourselves forward. And so today I'm going to share with you this particular story about how I went from a place of being overweight and out of shape, a place where I didn't want to be. I didn't feel good about myself. I was living below my potential. I was living below what was possible for me. And in this very specific area of weight loss, something that so many people struggle with, including myself, right? I've always been a chubby kid, a fat kid since around 8 or 9, as far back as I can recall. I've always struggled with my weight. And so it's always been a point and a place where I've struggled to be okay with myself, to feel okay about myself. And if you've ever struggled with weight or just struggled with anything where you don't like something about yourself, I'm sure you can lean into today's story and to these strategies. All right. And then I'm going to also share how I got into running. I run 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and actually I'm in the process right now of training for my first full marathon next year. So I'm actually doing it again, and I think that's kind of where I'll start. Um, I have this confidence right now to train to do something that I've never done before. Right, I know how taxing the half marathon is, 13 miles, 13.1 miles, and I've shied away from the full marathon for many years for many reasons. But one of the reasons recently, and I won't go completely into this story, but over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of emotional weight, stress, pressure that I've endured. I've gone through a lot. I've got a therapist. I think I've shared this on several of the other episodes. And so I've just kind of been in a space and a place of deconstruction, questioning my faith, questioning like my purpose, questioning this whole thing called life, God, everything in between. And so going through that, and I'm not making an excuse, but I'm just being real. During that season of my life, the last couple of years, I've gained weight. I've picked up a lot of weight. That stress in your body, the hormones, the overeating, the escape, the mechanisms, right? The coping mechanisms, right? The emotional eating, all of that plays a factor. And so I picked up a lot of weight, and I finally got to a point where enough is enough, and I want to make a change, and I want to begin to lose this weight. And I've already started, right? I'm several weeks in to once again transforming my body. But the reason that I have confidence to do it again, and the reason I have confidence to take on a challenge that I've never, taken on before, is because of what I'm going to share with you right now. I'm going to share with you three T's, the three T's to transformation in any area of your life that you may want to transform. For you, it might not be physical. For you, it might be something else. But I can promise you that these three T's are universally applicable to any kind of success that you want to achieve. All right. So, the very first thing that I learned from losing the 75 pounds, and the thing that I did initially to lose the 75 pounds and to run my first half marathon, my first T, let me jump right into it, was a trainer. I got a trainer, or you can say a teacher. Now, I forgot what year it was, but early on when we first moved out here to Southern California, I was 200 and well, not I wasn't 245 at that time. I don't know what I was, maybe like 185, maybe close to 200 pounds. And like I said, I've always kind of struggled with my weight. But soon after moving out here to Southern California, I began to pick up weight. Now back then it was for whatever reason, right? I don't recall why, but I know that I gained a significant amount of weight, and I got to a point where I was 245. And a brother from my church pointed it out to me. He pulled me to the side. He said it in love. He said it in respect. But he basically said, "Hey, Treveal, you're getting big, man." Right. And so that was a wake up call for me. And I'm glad that he did that. And the first thing that I did was I got a trainer, or a teacher, basically someone who has knowledge in the area that I want to improve in. I knew that I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I didn't understand weight training or conditioning or physical fitness at all. And there was a brother that was in my church, actually the two brothers that, they both come from my church. The first brother, he helped me to lose the 75 pounds by getting up every day with me for over a year, or it was maybe actually it was just about a year. We would get up every day, 5 a.m. I would meet him out there in Pasadena. We meet up in the parking lot. We'd pray, and then we'd go work out. And he taught me how to train. He literally taught me weightlifting, bodybuilding, conditioning, and he mentored me. And that became like a partnership, because at that time he wasn't maybe doing so well in the area of his spiritual walk, his faith walk. So he wanted to learn how to read the Bible more, and how to pray more. And so it was this trade-off. I'll teach you how to pray more consistently. I'll teach you how to read your Bible and do certain things, and I'll kind of mentor you spiritually, and you'll mentor me physically, right? And so that was the first thing that I did. I got a trainer or teacher. Basically, get someone that specializes in the area that you want to change. I know it may sound very basic, very elementary, but there are so many people who don't do it. So many people who want to change, and they go about it on their own because maybe they're too ashamed to tell anybody. They're too prideful to incorporate, or to bring somebody into the process. Whatever it is, people fail to look for specialists, people who know what they're doing, who have a track record, who understands how to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So that's the very first T to transformation. Get a trainer, get a teacher, someone who's going to help you. Now, the first half marathon that I ran, another brother from our church, a younger brother, he was actually the son of the man that, if you guys have heard my story about the four words that changed my life, Treveal, you are a teacher. Pastor Eric Brown, who soon after that passed away. Um, but he was the son of Pastor Eric, and he was a track star, um, collegiate athlete, and he took me under his wing. And I won't go into all the details, but he trained me how to run, how to run properly, how to hold my hands, how to breathe, how to do these different stretching techniques. My point is, he taught me, he trained me. He was a specialist. He knew something that I didn't know, and he brought me into this knowledge and into this information. So the very first thing that I want you to do is consider a trainer. If you're at that space and place in your life where you want to go from here to there, but you don't know how to get started, you don't know what to do, find someone that knows more than you. Find someone who does what it is that you're attempting to do. And I know it may be hard and it may be difficult, it may feel impossible. And I won't say that you'll trust them initially, but here's what I'll say, and it's another T. Try them out. Give them a try. If they prove to fail you, if they prove to be unreliable, then so be it. But don't, as my wife tells me, don't write my story for me, right? Don't write their story for them. You may have been hurt in the past. You may have had problems trusting people in the past. People may have let you down in the past. People may have been inconsistent in the past. But don't let your past, right, prevent your future. Those people did what they did for whatever reason they did it, but that doesn't make everybody the same. So give people an opportunity to prove themselves to you. So that's the first T. Get a trainer or a teacher. The second thing I did, the second T, is something called tension. Now, this is once I got with the first brother that trained me, I went on to get certified as a personal trainer. And one of the things that I learned in my certification is this thing called time under tension. Time under tension. It's the amount of time that you put your muscle or muscle groups under stress. You have to stress out the muscle so that it can tear the fibers apart, so that you can feed it nutrition, and then it can rebuild and become stronger and larger. Okay. And so the time under tension is important because that's what stretches out. Well, it also stretches out, but stresses out the muscle fibers. And so the second thing is that I want to share with you is incorporate tension. Now, tension comes in many different forms. In physical training, tension is weights or bands or different modalities that you put your body in or put your body under. And it it takes extra effort for you to withstand the weight and the pressure, but it's working for your good. But yours might not be physical. You may be trying some other kind of change, some other kind of adaptation, some other form of transformation. So I want you to consider, what is your tension? Now, here's some examples of tension that you might want to consider. Accountability. Many of us don't like accountability. We don't like to be told anything. We don't like to be held to any standards. We don't like to be challenged. We don't like bad news. We don't like bad feedback. We don't like negative feedback. We don't like someone, or we rather, we feel like someone's in a position of authority over us, and so sometimes we don't like that. Or we're very secretive and we don't want people in our business, or we're afraid to fail and that person will know about it. There's a million reasons that we don't like accountability. But whether it was with the first brother that trained me in the gym or the second brother that trained me on the track, I was accountable to them. They knew my business, they knew my goals, they knew what I was after. And if I failed, they were a part of it. They knew it, they were aware of it. And it was scary and it was tough. And there were days where I canceled, or there were days where I didn't show up the way that I should. There were days and times where I let myself down. But they were patient, they were loving, they were understanding. And so the time under tension can look like accountability, it can look like structure, it can look like discipline, it can look like dieting, it can look like purchasing a program and having to stick to the program and finish it out. It could look like trying to think of some other things, but basically, think of tension, right? You name it, you frame it, you put it into your context. Tension is anything that makes you uncomfortable for the purpose of producing your potential. Tension is anything that is uncomfortable, stressful, demanding, taxing, but it is working for the production. It is producing your potential. It doesn't feel good to you, but it is doing a lot of good for you. That's tension. That's time under tension. So rather than me spending a lot of time trying to come up with a million different examples, as I always say, you name it, you frame it, you put it into your context. What will tension be for you? And lastly, the thing that I put top tier, this is the number one T. The third T is the number one T. It is the most important T. All right, you ready for it? It's called time. It's called time. Now, before I get into my other example that I want to share you concerning time, let me share my screen with you guys, man. I want to share something with you here because I want to put a little visual with this. All right. See where I was? This picture over here, that very first picture, that was the 245, right? That was the 245. Yeah, buddy. That was me. Something it's something about a picture, right? They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's something about a visual. That's where I was. And that's where you may be today. It might be a physical thing, it might be a financial thing, it might be an emotional thing, it might be a business thing, it might be a family thing. I don't know what it is for you. It might be a ministry related thing, but you're at a state, you're in a space and a place that you don't like. You're not happy. I was smiling in this picture because someone was taking my picture, but I wasn't happy inside, man. I wasn't complete. I wasn't whole inside. And it was through this first T, trainer, teacher, second T, right? Tension, and the third T, time. Over time, you got the middle guy. Now I'm doing a little better. I'm at the track right there, right? I'm doing my training. Got a nice little muscle definition there, right? Leaned up a bit, right? Because I was working with my trainer and I was putting myself under tension, right? Letting the heart beat fast, right? Letting the legs feel like, little spaghetti noodles, right? Right. Like doing all the stuff that just I just couldn't stand doing, but I knew it was benefiting me. So all of that tension over time. And then the final picture. Oh, yes, the day of glory. Crossing that finish line, man. Crossing the finish line. Lean and mean, baby. Lean and mean. 170, baby. Yeah. LA half marathon. Yes, sir. In the streets of Los Angeles, baby. Crossing the finish line, holding up that 1-3. That's not a gang sign. Okay. We were in LA, but that's not a gang sign. That was for 1-3, 13 miles. Your brother ran. But how did I go from the picture on my left, might be your right, to the picture on my right, might be your left, to crossing that finish line? See that transition? See that transformation? That metamorphosis? It was a process of teacher and trainer and tension and time. It took time to lose that weight. It took time to drop them pounds. It took time to go from being, really muscular to being even slimmer so that I could finish that race that day. I just wanted to share that with you guys and show that to you guys as a visual to kind of make this last point. make a whole bunch of sense. All right. So I got my jar here. I want to show you this. I think this is the most important thing that I wanted to show you guys today. This is my little jar of marbles. Now, this jar of marbles, I think I bought a 500 pack. So this is about 500 marbles. But here's what I want you to think about. Here's the thing about time, because I said this is the most important thing. Time is the most important one. This is what we don't want to give ourselves. We are in a microwave society, a society that everything is fast, everything is easy, everything is automated. Everything is how fast can I get it? How quick can I get it? Overnight shipping, same day shipping, drive-throughs, downloads, access now, have it today. Why wait? Payday loans. Everything is automated. Everything is fast. Everything is given quickly. Apply today and get approved today. Come in and drive off the lot today. There's something about that fast stuff. We usually make pretty poor decisions when it's super fast. There's a reason that they make these bad decisions really easy to make. It's a reason. Did you catch that? Society makes bad decisions very easy to make because it's fast, it's emotional. The marketers know it. They have $1 million teams, or rather, they have teams that they spend millions of dollars on, marketing budgets to bring in the best of the best of the best strategists, psychoanalysts that understand the human psyche and the human behaviors and the human patterns. And they know how to trigger us emotionally and get us to make a decision very fast. They know how to trigger the emotion and then make the decision fast and easy. Just push this button, just make this download. I don't know why I got on that, but as us pastors like to say, somebody needed to hear it. Anyway, we live in this society, this culture, where everything is fast and automated. Time is the most important thing. Why do I have these marbles? There is something called a 90-day rule. I'm sure different people use it for different reasons. My 90-day rule is for this purpose. Until you do something for 90 days, do not quit. I'm going to let that sit. Unless you do something for 90 days, don't you dare quit. One of the things that I learned in my coaching certification, as I was being mentored by my coach and my mindset coach, was that unless you give yourself a sample size of at least 90 days of doing anything consistently, you've not given yourself an opportunity to gather enough information to really decide whether or not it's working or not working. Many of us quit within the first day, week, month. We give up too fast, too soon. There's something called compound effort. Compound effort. It needs to compound. Just like when you invest in the market, you don't put $1,000 in today and take out $1 million tomorrow, unless you get really lucky. But the majority of the time, your interest is compounding. Your ROI, return on investment, it's compounding. And it doesn't usually look like anything's happening until it does. And that's why I use these marbles to illustrate this very important point. So, as I take the lid off, I want you to see something. All right? Take the lid off. Day number 1, I take the marble out. That was effort. On day 1, that was effort. Does it look like anything's changed? No. Has anything changed? Yes. This has one less marble in it, but it doesn't appear that anything has changed, but it does. If you were to weigh this and you take out one marble, it has to weigh a little less. It's just the way it is, because this marble has weight to it. If you take it out, it has to weigh less. but it doesn't appear that anything is changing, but something has changed. Day 2, another marble. Does it appear like anything's changed? Nope. When you're looking at this jar, it don't look like nothing's changed, but it has, because these 2 marbles, they've got weight to them. And if I take them out, it has to weigh less. Might not be a lot less, but less, nevertheless. You like that play on words? See, something's changing. With every day of consistency, with every day of doing something that's working towards your good, every day of checking in with your trainer, with every day staying under tension, every day giving yourself time, things are changing. And if I were to continue to do this 90 times, 90 times, 90 times, day after day after day after day after day, you get the picture. Eventually, oh, now we're starting to see a dent. Now we're starting to see something change. What if you would have stopped on day 1? What if you would have stopped on day 2? What if you would have stopped on day 3? Unless you do it for 90 days, don't you dare stop. Give yourself time to change. You didn't get to where you are overnight. I know it didn't appear that anything was changing, like you were going into the ditch, or you were going into the darkness, or you were going into that space and place that you don't want to be in. No, because we're not paying attention to it. The reason change for the good is often so difficult is because we're hyper attentive. See, by the time we want to change, by the time we want to transform, we're locked in. And every day we're looking for the change. Every day we want the scale to change. Every day we want complete transformation, because now we are at the point where we're fed up and we're hyper aware. We're hyper focused. We want to change like yesterday. You didn't get to where you were to where you are overnight. You're not going to get to where you're going overnight. That's the reality of it. That's the truth of it. But be encouraged. Just keep day after day after day after day after day. And after 90 days, you're going to see something. It's going to either give you the results that you've been looking for, and you can say, you know what? I put in 90 days. I see the positive change. That's confirmation to continue that course of action. Or you'll have the data to prove to you that, you know what? I've been doing this for 90 days and this strategy isn't working. It's time to pivot. Either way, give yourself time to collect enough data to then make a quality decision. If you don't give yourself 90 days, if you don't give your efforts time to compound, you are cheating yourself. You are robbing yourself of your best. You're robbing yourself of your potential. It's in there. The body, something else I learned in training, the body has a certain DNA, strands within the muscle fibers. And when activated, they trigger growth or they trigger loss. God has designed us embedded, encoded within our very DNA. Certain things, proteins, hormones, that when activated, they will do what you want them to do. The same is true in every area of our lives. When you gather a trainer, teacher, when you allow tension to remain long enough to trigger the growth or the loss, and you give yourself time, don't abort the mission, don't back out, don't give up, don't throw in the towel. You give yourself time. You can accomplish anything. You can accomplish anything. So what will it be for you? What will your transformation look like? What will your change look like? When you begin to get a trainer or a teacher and you begin to put yourself under tension and you give yourself time. A world of possibilities open up. Hope and pray that this has encouraged you. As always, I'm going to provide links down below to get in contact with me. If you are at a space and place, a time in your life where coaching is something that you're interested in and it's something that you are in need of, I would love to get on a call with you and see if that's something that you could take advantage of and benefit from. Other links down below for some of my free resources, master classes, downloads to help you to ask yourself better questions, to better understand yourself and grow in your trust of yourself so that you can begin to move yourself forward. Other ways to connect, to subscribe to the podcast, to this channel. Please leave comments, questions, interact. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If anything hit home, I would just love to serve you, man. I would just love to show up and serve you in any way that I can. I hope and pray that everything that I've shared made sense, and I hope that my story is inspiring to you and it provides an example to you that change is possible. Your change is possible with this practice. Love you guys, praying for you guys, believing in you guys. Until next time.